Hello.
Congratulations, Seth.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're congratulating me because I'm on level 28 of block sores. Is that why?
Because Degrassi's back, because About a Girl premiered, and most importantly, because of the end going 24/7
24.
this week.
Yeah, you know what? I had written down in my notes here 24 hours underlined, and I couldn't figure out what it meant. I, I just kept thinking of that Alex Johnson
I
song.
was just gonna say, you were like,
And be like,
instant
why are
star?
we talking about that this week? But yes, of course, the biggest event in the history of the N, right?
Seriously. I'm so
24/7.
excited because now, because you have to understand, like, nobody knows what I do for a living. Like, nobody my age knows what I do for a living. And I always have to be like, it's network, but it's only on at night. And like,
Yeah, it
all
does
this
make
stuff.
that a lot easier.
Yeah, no, I'm just like, it's a network. It's channel number XYZ,
Right.
whatever.
A
But
what
it's always
cast?
exciting when I meet somebody who's like 16. They're always like, oh my God, you work for the M?
That never happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
You never meet anyone who's 16.
No, it's because you're you. I understand
No,
that we're on different planes.
it's not like they're like, you're the Mary. They're just like, you work for the M. Sometimes they're like, you're the Mary. My
Uh-huh.
cousin, by the way, called my dad and was like, is my cousin Mary the Mary? Isn't that
How did
cute?
we manage to make this about us?
I know. Everything, everything always is. Yeah, Darcy practically commits suicide this week, and all we can talk about is
Yeah, the N
ourselves.
went 24 hours. We premiered a new series. Darcy almost killed herself, and we're talking about us. Let's talk about Darcy for a little while.
Let's do.
Wow.
I
Best season premiere ever?
I kind of think it might have been
I
like it
think
was
it might have
really
been.
tight. It
It
was really
was
well done,
it was good.
and I was along for the ride. I was like right there with her, and really worried about her, and really upset for. I mean, I can't fathom anything more violating. And to top it off, she's a virgin. Like, oh my God. Yeah, and I just like I don't know what legal recourse she has at this point. I can't figure out like how many days it's been because they say that you can test for some of those drugs like within 3 days. Which, by the way, I looked this up, and they call them the date rape drugs, but the actual like legal term is drug facilitated sexual assault, which I think is much more appropriate.
Yes, but
Yeah.
I've noticed something about you, Mary. I've learned this in the time we've been doing this podcast. You have a tendency after the show is over to continue to worry about what legal actions the protagonists are going to take.
I get very involved.
I can see you writing, friend of the court briefs at home afterwards. I've
Well,
known
because
Darcy for 7 seasons, and
well, wait, how many seasons?
all
What
right, it
season did
wasn't
she?
7 seasons.
All right.
I know. Before people start
Anyway.
emailing me.
But I'm very manny about these kind of things. Like I'm very kind of I want to protect my friend, and I'm worried about her. Manny, by the way,
Yeah,
standing up so big time.
seriously.
She was like, I thought she showed so much restraint when the mom asks her what happened, and Manny doesn't tell her. Manny's like, that is Darcy's prerogative to tell. Like Darcy can tell her mom in her own time, and she didn't do it. She read that pamphlet and she took it to heart.
Yeah. Do you
I
think?
was
I
like,
mean, is Manny finally growing up?
Manny grew up a long. You don't give Manny enough credit. She was like 14 when she cheated on, or when she, cheated with Craig. She's been through the fires.
I have 4 words for you, Mary. I'm gonna be famous. How's that?
She. Here's the thing. There are a lot of girls out there who have made the same mistakes Manny's made. I probably, honestly, in high school, was more like Manny. Like I was a cross between Manny and Ellie. Like those are my Degrassi characters.
All right. Well, your answer to me then is yes, that she has grown up.
She has grown up. We can discuss Manny further another time. When we have Cassie on it, she could stand up for me.
And Shenae was so good in this episode.
Oh my God.
The only criticism I could possibly make is maybe a little too tan.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, like when she was, especially when she was at this in the snow, I was like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, with all the
yeah,
white snow around her, it's like, whoa,
yeah,
Shenae is tan.
yeah. Hopefully it's,
Nothing
hopefully,
against Shenae.
hopefully it's fake and not, hopefully she didn't actually do that to her
Don't say
skin.
that because what if it isn't?
No, oh, well, then she should know better because she's a pretty young lady and she wants to stay that way. She doesn't want to get all wrinkly and gross.
You just called Shenae wrinkly and gross.
No, I said
I'm
if
gonna call
she.
her right now and tell her what you said about her.
Oh my God, don't do it, don't do
All right, well, we
it.
are talking to Shenae today, we are not going to tell her that you said that she's wrinkly and gross. Though she'll listen to this later and find out, so it'll all be fine.
I didn't say she was. I said she would be.
Oh, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, Mary.
It's gonna turn out like Brittany if she gets those tanning beds. And anyway, I think she uses the self tanner.
All right. Well, let's call her. I'm sure we have
other things to talk about this week.
All right.
Hello?
Hey, Shenae.
Hey.
It's Mary and Seth from TheEnd.com.
Hi, Shenae.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
I'm great. You sound like you're in a very good mood.
I am. Just running around. Just got home, so I get to relax for a little, which is nice.
So you're on your weekend now?
Yes, I am. Thank goodness. I'm very excited for the weekend, and all my friends are in because it's Thanksgiving. So.
Oh, right. It's Canadian Thanksgiving.
Aww.
Yes, it's Canadian Thanksgiving.
What do you guys do on Canadian Thanksgiving? Is it just like American Thanksgiving?
I have the greatest feast with my family that I look forward to all year. I am so excited for this food. Just hardcore turkey and pumpkin pie, really good.
Oh, just like ours. Do you help cook?
Yeah. Yeah, not so good in the kitchen. Not so good in the kitchen. It's better that I don't try and help.
But you'll never learn if you don't try, Shenae.
I know, right? I need to take lessons. Cassie is like the best cook in the world.
Is
I
she
need
really?
to take lessons from her. Yeah, apparently she just loves it. She's like cooking all the time now, so I need to take lessons from her.
Awesome.
Oh, wait, okay, and I have to ask you about this now. So what does she make that's good? Like, does she have a signature dish?
Well, she's a vegetarian now, so she's really into all of like the vegetarian dishes and stuff like that. I haven't tried anything, but I am so excited to go to her house. I told her, I was like, you need to cook me dinner. I'm gonna come over.
So, okay, wait, is Darcy okay? Because we just saw the first 2 episodes of season 7 when...
Yeah.
Is she going to be all right? Because I was worried.
She's gonna be all right. She will come out of the dark tunnel, but it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster. She's not all right away, you know. She's obviously been put through a lot in the first 2 episodes, and it's definitely an emotional roller coaster for a little while.
Yeah. Do you have any, I mean, just having gone through it as an actor, and sort of, I'm sure you did like a little bit of research, like, do you have any advice for someone in that situation, or like, what would you say to a friend in that situation?
Talk about it. Don't keep it inside. You know, I think that's a lot of people's mistakes. Things happen and they're embarrassed or they're scared, and things bottle up inside, and the volcano's going to erupt eventually. And, you know, my number one thing is just talk to somebody about it, anybody. Just get it out, even if it's on paper, you know, just get it out of your system, because that's Darcy's big mistake. She keeps it inside for a while, and it eats away at her a bit. And, you know, things like that, it's too much for one person to take on. It's far too much for one person to take on. And, you know, that's what she kind of struggles with for a little while. Eventually, you know, like she realizes that she can't keep it in anymore, but you just need to tell somebody right away.
You know what broke my heart the most is when she's at the doctor's office, and I realize she kind of like lies about why she's there and everything, but she tells him, she's like, oh, I have a great support system. I have a boyfriend, I have great friends, and my family. It's like she knows she has these people that she can talk to, and yet there's this divide. Like she can't breach that subject with them.
Well, you know, people as individuals, especially in high school and stuff like that, you know, I think kids often feel like they have an image to maintain, you know, and especially with Darcy's background, you know, her virginity was very, very, very important to her. And that was, you know, a gift that she held really closely to her heart, and that she'd been taught to hold very closely to her heart. You know, she, I think more than anything, feels like she doesn't want to disappoint those who are so close to her. What she doesn't realize is the people who are close to you aren't going to judge you, they're there to support you. You know, they're not, you're not disappointing anybody. It was something that happened to her, a horrible thing that happened to her. It wasn't her fault. And, it's hard for her, I guess, to break down that wall. I think all of us kind of, feel like we need to keep off this image with everybody. And, those who love us and those who are really close to us, yes, we know that we can turn to them in every situation, but sometimes it's hard. It's hard to open up about bad things that happen to you because you're afraid of how people look at you afterwards.
What if Darcy had just done it that night? Like, what if she had just lost her resolve and had sex with Peter? And, like, she could still turn to her friends. She could still talk to people about it. Like,
of course. And you always should, that's the whole point is, things like that. You should feel, you need to have at least one person who you can just blah, 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 let it all spill out to, and she just wasn't comfortable with it because she's been so torn. We saw it last season. She was really torn when that whole internet thing happened between, the teenage norms that we see in high school and what we're taught at home from our parents and stuff like that. And it's hard. It's hard to juggle it all.
How is it for you to have, the season premiere, a 2-part season premiere all centering around you? Was that just like incredibly exciting or was that scary?
Of course it was super exciting. I felt honored more than anything. I felt really, really, really honored that the writers felt that I could carry something so huge. It was such a crazy storyline. So many huge things happened to her in those 2 episodes. It wasn't just one moment. It was many, many, many dramatic, emotional moments. And it was possibly the most daunting task I have ever had to face. I was literally sitting in the read-through with my mouth, like my jaw was hitting the floor over and over again. I was like, when is it going to stop? Oh my God, am I going to be able to do this? But it was so exciting and so fulfilling. Like, I just love when you get to walk away from work at the end of the day and just feel like, okay, I did it. I got through the scene. Like that scene, there were a few scenes there that I was just so nervous about. And at the end of every day, I was just like, another one's done. Okay, I did it and I did it well, I think. And I was comfortable with my performance and I hope that I pulled it off.
You did a great job. I was like,
thank you.
Was almost crying through like half of that.
Oh, thank you.
I have a very technical question about your process.
Yes.
Seth knows what I'm about to ask. Okay, so there's like the scene when you and Peter go up to the room and you're making out and he grabs your buttock.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, A, is that scripted? Does it say Peter grabs Darcy's buttock? Or B, is there like a big discussion before you film the scene and it's like, okay, Jamie, you're going to grab Shenae's buttock, but you're not allowed to hold it for more than 1 second. Like, how does that work?
Absolutely not. There was no talk about it. It wasn't written in the script. Obviously, it was a hot and heavy scene and we were going to be making out. We knew that. And of course, my favorite director, Phil Earnshaw, crazy Uncle Phil Earnshaw, threw it in last minute. We did the scene like 8 times or something like that, and he was like, yeah, okay, now just grab her butt. I was like, what? Oh my God, okay. It was so funny. It wasn't awkward, but it was definitely like more personal than I've ever gotten with a co-star on camera. Yeah, it was interesting.
At least it wasn't just like Jamie deciding that that's what his character was going to do.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey now, watch out. Yeah, I know, but I think it was better that we didn't plan it and didn't have a big talk about it, because otherwise I think I would have just been like, I would have been more and more nervous. It was just thrown in for that one take, and then it was all over with. But it was funny, like we did, because we don't go in order, right? Like the scenes we don't film them in like the way that you see them in the sequence that you see them. So I had just done the scene where I tell Manny about the doctor's appointment.
Huh.
That, emotional, heavy scene outside. Yeah. And then to go and be like, all right, Shenae, now, okay, so you and Jamie, you're going at it. And it was so ridiculous. I was like, can you just give me a minute to get out of this space that I'm in right now? Thank you.
All right. So I'm realizing we must talk to you every Halloween. Like that must just be how it works. Although I know you're probably more in Thanksgiving frame of mind right now, but Do you have any ideas about what you're going to be for Halloween this year? Because we know that last year you were a pirate and not a sexy pirate.
Not a sexy pirate. Yes. No, I know. I was talking about it with Lauren, and she was like, so what are you going to be? I was like, honestly, I just want to be the pirate again. Like, I have no idea what I'm going to be this year. And everyone's got all these great ideas. And, like, I don't know. I love the pirate thing. I just like being able to, like, go into my own closet and pull together some crazy outfit, you know?
Here's a tip. With very little alteration, the pirate outfit can easily become the gypsy outfit.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. It really can. So I think I might just do that for the rest of my life, since, you know, like, alter it a little bit every year. I've got the same clothes still in the closet, so I might just whip them out again and say I'm something new.
And 2008 is fortune teller, and
no one will know.
And then zombie.
That's another way you can alter any costume. Is just you just put some pale face on, and then you're zombie pirate, or then
just like pop in some white contacts, and bam, a whole new one. I'm just gonna have to call you guys every year and be like, all right, so what little twist can we make?
I'd be happy to help because I can never put together a costume for myself, but for you, it's easy. Well, have a great weekend. I'm so glad you get some time to relax. I know you've had a hectic week.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. You guys, too. I wish I could say Happy Thanksgiving and have a yummy meal. Maybe I'll just send some over to New York for you. I'll send some pumpkin
think
pie.
you should.
Yes,
I definitely do some pumpkin pie.
All right, have a good weekend, guys.
See you,
You
Shenae.
too.
Bye.
Bye.
So that was awesome. She's sweet. I wanted to add something to what she said when she was talking about that if you're feeling that desperate that like you have to reach out to someone, there has to be like one person in your life that you can say anything to. Right. And I just know that a lot of people sometimes feel like there isn't that one person. Even Darcy felt like, even though she had all these great friends, that she couldn't talk about it. So there are hotlines. We've got a new page on the N.com called Resources. It's on the bottom of every the N.com page, right, like down by the rules and stuff. And there's several phone numbers listed there for suicide prevention hotlines. And I just wanted to say on the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, their suicide hotline, which, by the way, is 1-800-273-TALK, T-A-L-K, or 8255. The things you can do at that hotline, because I think people don't know precisely what those hotlines can be for. And so I just wanted to say that the site says you can call to talk to somebody who cares. You can call if you feel like you're in danger of hurting yourself. You can get referrals to mental health services in your area, so you can actually get referrals to help that's nearby you. And you can call to speak to someone, to a crisis worker, about somebody that you're concerned about. So you can call, if you're worried about a friend, you can call these suicide hotlines and they can direct you to the right help. So I just thought that was important information to get out there.
Right, and Shenae said something which is very important, which is that you should never be afraid to talk to someone because you're embarrassed or feel bad about whatever the issue is. That there's always someone there for you.
Yeah, definitely. You'd be surprised at people's capacity for understanding and compassion. Okay.
I think there's another important piece of advice we need to give people regarding that episode, which is do not get into a long-distance relationship immediately after you finish high school. We don't have time to get into this in detail now, and I believe I once wrote in The Insider that those words should be written in two-story glowing letters in geosynchronous orbit over the Earth. But
it's
Marco,
true. He's like wasting his entire freshman year in a non-relationship. It makes me sad.
All right, but we can't talk about that right now because our time is up. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Mary.
Happy Canadian Thanksgiving, Seth.
I'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.